This is breaking news from Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Thank you for watching. Cindy Sexton will be here tomorrow at 4. There's an all-out manhunt underway in Soddy Daisy. Police there are looking for a murder suspect in connection with a fatal shooting last night on Shady Vale Lane in Chattanooga. 29-year-old Frederick Moore was shot and killed. The suspect, James Michael Ferris, was last seen in a wooded area near Soddy Daisy schools. We have team coverage as police continue their search for Ferris, and they're focusing on the 1000 block of Sequoia Access Road. Soddy Daisy schools were on lockdown this afternoon, but students have been released with police standing by. Officials are telling residents, don't leave your home. Our Meredith Aldis and Joy Dukes are live at the scene, and Meredith begins our team coverage at the command center on Sequoia Access Road. Meredith.
David, several different agencies are assisting in this search for that homicide suspect. As you can see behind me, we've got the communications center set up. There's also a helicopter that's been circling that neighborhood and wooded area back there. Authorities are looking for 27-year-old James Michael Ferris. He's wanted in connection to the East Brainerd murder that happened last night. Now, here's how authorities say they got to this point in the search. The Chattanooga Police Department say they were conducting surveillance on a residents here in Soddy Daisy because they believed Ferris was here. And now here's what authorities say happened next.
They observed him exiting the residence, getting into a vehicle to leave. As that was taking place, that individual appeared to recognize law enforcement and immediately fled the vehicle and fled into the wooded area here in Soddy Daisy on foot.
He's believed to be in a heavily wooded area near the 1000 block of Sequoia Access Road. Authorities have set up a perimeter in that area, and they're also here at the command center at the Soddy Daisy Healthcare Center. Ferris currently has warrants for criminal homicide, felony reckless endangerment, unlawful possession of a firearm, and possession of firearm during the commission of a dangerous felony. This isn't Ferris's first run-in with the law. He also has been charged with many crimes, including assault on police. Now, Ferris is believed to be armed and dangerous, so if you see him, go to a safe place and call 911. We're also told, though, if you live in that 1000 block area of that Sequoia Access Road, go inside, lock all your doors, lock the doors to your cars, to your sheds, anything that he may have access to. Now, we're going to keep you updated with this developing story. We'll be here tonight. But for now, reporting in Soddy Daisy, Meredith Aldis, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Thanks, Meredith. Joy Dukes continues our team coverage from Soddy Daisy Middle School with reactions from parents after schools were kept on lockout for some time this afternoon. Joy?
Yeah, David, I spoke with the grandparent of a Soddy Daisy Middle School student. Sherry Gravett tells me that she came to pick her grandson up today after reports that they had been in a lockdown as authorities in this area searched for 27-year-old James Ferris, who was believed to be in the area at the time, armed and dangerous. Now, Gravett said the day was pretty nerve-wracking for her because there were also reports that Ferris was spotted on West Ridge Trail Road, the street that she lives on. And for that reason, she says she was not taking any chances.
Said the school's on lockdown. I was pretty glad about that they were here. Well, I knew he was actually safe and, taken care of. He usually rides the bus home. That's why I come to pick him up, because I didn't want him getting off the bus and having to walk home with all this happening.
And Gravett said that she was glad to know that the schools went into lockdown and that her grandson was safe, but that with Ferris still on the loose, she is concerned about going home. And as we've said throughout our coverage this evening, authorities are telling people in this area to stay indoors and to lock up, to not create any opportunities for him to sneak up on you, to surprise you, or to potentially put you or your family at risk. We're live from Soddy Daisy Middle School tonight. Joy Dukes, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Joy, thank you. Let's take another look at the suspect. Again, police say he's armed and dangerous. If you see this man, do not approach him. Call 911 instead.
Eyewitness News at 6 starts now.
Coverage you can count on. Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 6.
Thank you for watching us on this Friday afternoon. A two-day manhunt for a murder suspect is now over. James Ferris was captured this afternoon in the Soddy Daisy area, giving residents a chance to breathe a sigh of relief. City and county law enforcement officials gave credit to good teamwork for this successful investigation. Our Travis Cummings has been at the scene all day and joins us live now with the latest. Travis?
Yeah, David, law enforcement says James Michael Ferris was shot. He is receiving treatment at a local hospital. The extent of his injuries are unknown at this time. Officials say he was shot during engaging with a fugitive detective, and he was armed. This is how it all unfolded today. Earlier today, the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office received a tip from a community member as to Ferris's possible whereabouts. When detectives got in the area, they located him on Berry Meadow Way. Officials say he was on the run at that time. They saw him with a weapon in his hand. A deputy engaged, and Ferris was shot. From ground to air resources, and most importantly, help from the community. Chief Deputy Austin Garrett says this capture would have not been possible without.
But we're thankful that it's over. We had it ended that way. We're thankful that all of our personnel are okay and that they were not injured. And we want to thank the community because we received a lot of tips, and that's what led us back here today. We can't do our job without the community helping us and giving us information.
As Chief Garrett said, multiple agencies helped out over the last couple of days. Chattanooga Police, the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office, U.S. Marshals, Soddy Daisy PD, TBI, Hamilton County 911 District, rescue support. Several businesses also provided food to agencies. Now, this case will go on to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations. As far as charges Ferris will face, well, that's up to District Attorney Neil Pinkston's office. We're live in Soddy Daisy tonight. Travis Cummings, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Another big story today. After more than 15 hours of deliberation, a jury has reached a verdict in the case against Janet Hines, the woman accused of killing a Chattanooga police officer in a hit and run. And the jury did find her guilty of killing police officer Nicholas Gallinger. Channel 3's Michelle Herron has reaction from both sides.
2.5 years after Chattanooga police officer Nicholas Gallinger was killed, a jury found Janet Hines guilty of causing his death.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Janet Elaine Hines, guilty of vehicular homicide by intoxication.
Janet Hines hung her head as the jury announced she was guilty of 8 of the 10 charges in the crash that killed Nicholas Gallinger.
It's a day for justice. It's a day for Nicholas Gallinger and his family, and it's a day for justice for, in my opinion, past and present members of law enforcement for this whole community.
The not guilty verdicts involved 2 Class C misdemeanors. The most serious conviction, vehicular homicide by intoxication, carries a sentence of 8 to 12 years. Outside of the courtroom, Gallinger's father said he felt like justice was served, although he felt for the Hines family.
I wondered for the last 2.5 years how I would feel. So this is better than I thought it would be.
The verdict was emotional for Chattanooga police, too, some of whom sat through each day of testimony.
Our officers are feeling some relief. They worked very hard on investigating this. We are very thankful for the job that the prosecution did.
Defense attorney Ben McGowan, who presented a strong case, declined to comment after the verdict.
Thank you. I have to process what's going on here. Thank you.
And then, a powerful moment outside of the courtroom as Janet Hines' daughter-in-law is seen hugging Gallinger's father, can perhaps serve as a reminder to us all of the loss among both of these families. Janet Hines will be sentenced on November 1st. Until then, she will remain out on bond on house arrest. Reporting in Hamilton County, Michelle Herron, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Here in Chattanooga, 3 shootings were reported in less than 48 hours over the weekend. Those incidents left 3 people dead and 6 others hurt. Chattanooga Mayor Tim Kelly is reacting, calling it unacceptable, and added in a statement that violence is never the answer. He says gun violence is a public health and safety crisis that will be addressed head-on with urgency.
Happening today, a local community activist is organizing an action walk in response to those shootings. Ladarius Price, who is the president of Placing Emphasis Around Kids, or PEAK, says he knew 2 of the victims. He says they were his students that he mentored and coached. He says outreach is the only way to prevent these shootings and that it starts with educating people on the importance of choosing peace over violence.
The only way that it can stop is if people speak up and say something and let their voices be heard.
The community action walk is happening tonight at 6 o'clock at the Westside Community Center. Price says someone from the mayor's office along with law enforcement will be in attendance.
Welcome back. Well, we are taking a live look now at the Zoe's restaurant on Hickson Pike, where earlier dozens of people fell from a collapsed deck on the back porch there. As you can see, there is some caution tape up. 11 people were taken to the hospital by EMS. 2 of those people were injured critically, and the 9 others had non-life-threatening injuries. We're told that more than 40 people were on this deck for a birthday celebration before, and that was around 4 o'clock today that it collapsed. A 911 caller said that several people were hurt in that incident, and now the Hamilton County Building Codes has been notified about this, and they are working to figure out what the cause of the collapse was. Now you're taking a closer look there. You can see where the caution tape on that is. The Hamilton County Office of Emergency Management posted a tweet earlier today with photos of the deck itself that was collapsed. And they say that they are working to learn more details about this incident. This is under investigation. We're working to figure out exactly what caused this deck to collapse and hoping that those folks that were injured are okay. We'll have more details on this as we continue to learn more about the incident.
Coverage you can count on. Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 6.
Thank you for watching. Cindy Sexton is off this evening, and yes, the final push for Election Day is on for the Georgia Senate runoff races. Georgians are voting in 2 races tomorrow, one between incumbent Senator David Perdue, a Republican, and Democratic candidate John Ossoff. The other between Republican incumbent Kelly Loeffler and her Democratic opponent, Reverend Raphael Warnock. Now, rallies were held all over Georgia today in support of those senators and their opposition. Vice President Pence was in Milner, Georgia, campaigning for Loeffler and Perdue. President-elect Joe Biden is in Atlanta campaigning for Warnock and Ossoff. And the big focus this evening as far as our area is concerned is in Dalton, Georgia. There's a victory rally, according to President Trump, who will be attending in about an hour. And that's where we find Channel 3's Greg Glover and Mary Frances Hoots. We begin with Mary Frances to set the scene on what's expected tonight.
Well, I'm right where people are getting dropped off to go into the entrance, to get into the line, to get into the rally. So it took a little bit of time for us to get here. So they have the road blocked off in a mile in each direction with no cars getting through except the shuttles. So we've been in this location for about 45 minutes now. We have seen more than 1,000, close to probably 2,000 people, I'm guessing here right now, but be dropped off. A lot of excited people, a lot of cheering, a lot of things like that. So if you take a look over here, these are where the shuttles are. There's been, we have seen, I would say, close to 100 shuttles and just a lot of people getting dropped off. So this area right over here is just kind of where people are gathering, waiting to get into the event. So there's all kinds of Trump flags, Make America Great Again hats, there's mugs, there's even Trump bobbleheads. I mean, you name it, they got it. And then so if you head right on over here, that's the gate kind of where people get in to get into the line to get in. So we're not allowed past that point. There's a separate media entrance that we can get into. But people, there have been thousands of people in line. They've been lining up since 9 a.m. I was even told by some security people that there's people that camped out here. So I know they're letting as many people get in as possible until the Secret Service shuts it off. So we've been out here seeing thousands of people. I know the director of the airport spoke with us earlier and said that about 20,000 people are getting in. This is the biggest event that they've had here. A sitting president hasn't been in the area in 28 years. So President Donald Trump is set to speak at 9 p.m. and this is the first time we're hearing of him since that leaked phone call with the Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger. I know Greg is live inside the event on the Media Riser. Greg, do you think the call will affect the Senate runoff?
This is breaking news from Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Thank you for watching. Cindy Sexton will be here tomorrow at 4. Let's begin with this story. Police have arrested a woman accused of engaging in sexual wrongdoing with a juvenile at a migrant facility in Chattanooga. The Department of Children's Services made an unannounced visit to the Chattanooga facility housing migrant children on June 3rd. At that time, a child said he witnessed a staff member kissing another youth. Now, 35-year-old Randy Duarte is charged with sexual battery by an authority figure, coercion of a witness, and tampering with evidence. She is in custody at the Whitfield County Jail and will be extradited to Hamilton County. Also breaking this afternoon, police say the 16-year-old who ran away from the facility 2.5 weeks ago has been found safe with his family in Guatemala. And we have received a new report from the Chattanooga Police Department detailing other reports of child abuse at that facility. Our Travis Cummings joins us live. Travis, what's the latest?
Yeah, David, we requested the documents and just got them back today. The big takeaway here is there were more incidents reported before June 7th when a child said they saw a staff member kissing another child. Response summary from the Chattanooga Police Department details when officers respond on a report of an incident. This document dates back to November 1st when a facility housing migrant children in Chattanooga first became active. Following a report on June 7th, a staff member was fired and now charged for claims from other kids for kissing another student. Channel 3 learned of that incident through an open records request filed through the Department of Children's Services. DCS also reported when a juvenile went missing a week later. But the department did not mention 3 other child abuse incidents on the document days prior to June 7th, which indicates more child abuse reports. We called and emailed the DCS to find out why that didn't come up following our request, but got no response. Senator Todd Gardenhire on the Joint Study Committee on Refugee Issues says an investigation with the Hamilton County District Attorney's Office is underway.
To look at the allegations that have been made and see what if any laws have been broken and any prosecutions need to be made.
While the committee is working to figure out other important pieces.
What's going to be the financial responsibility of the state of Tennessee during the time that these migrant children are in Tennessee, and then when they go out of the program, wherever they are, what's the additional cost to us?
Reminding that the best interests of the children is top priority.
Has a responsibility legally and a responsibility morally to take care of children that are here in the custody of the United States government.
Now, this report also lists 2 sex offense incidents, but it's unclear exactly what that means. These records aren't available to us because of a pending investigation with the district attorney's office. But of course, we're going to continue to update you as more information becomes available. Reporting in Chattanooga tonight, Travis Cummings, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.